Come on. Notice how my microphone's working now? I'm not sure how this one's going to go. Because I think I ran off some people with some of my thoughts at the end of the Bonehunters. And I don't know if people are going to put like a middle finger on here in this thing before they left. But we'll see. We'll see. I generally really, really liked this book. But, yeah. I was Mr. Grumpy Pants at the end there, wasn't I? Okay, here we go. I haven't looked through this. This is, well, no, I have looked a little bit through it. I just scanned through it at the end of the Bonehunters. But that's when I was kind of trying to sit back and clear my head a little bit. So, let's see what's in here. The Bonehunters. Just want to say, based on how the Midnight Tides Laughin and Lyin video went, we probably should try to limit extraneous conversation in this channel. Nice. That would help. And that's not a slight on anyone else. Dan had to skip way too much of my nonsense in the video. Just hoping we can make it easier for him by staying more focused. That is a foreshadowing for something that is definitely not going to happen. Good plan. What's everyone eating for lunch today? You know, never mind. Never mind. I'm just going to keep going. Oh, I thought I would add more jabber. Shake my head. LOL. Wasting my time. Okay. Wait a second. I'm refreshing myself on the Bonehunters, getting excited for Dan's read-through. And the wiki says that Lyin is 19 years old when she's introduced. Does it? I always pictured her in her late 30s or mid 40s. Yeah, I think maybe I would have pictured her a little bit more like 30 as well. This, I mean, a 19-year-old drunk is a little different than a 30-year-old drunk, and I more maybe see the 30-year-old side of it. But yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't come up often. It is, if at all, after that. But she's young. Yep. Okay. We'll see whenever I reread what my impression image is. I don't know if there is any new information. Okay. Bonehunters is absolutely my favorite Malazan book so far. I'm up to Toll the Hounds. Awesome. In a lot of ways, it was my favorite one too. And I think people figure I'm sour on the whole thing because I just, you know, some of it didn't hit me at the end. Like, especially the song, Fiddler's song. I just thought, what are you doing, you doofus? I love Fiddler too, and I don't know why that didn't hit me because I love the Bridge Burners, but I thought they would be back more. I thought the Bridge Burners like Iskar Jarek. Doesn't that mean they're back? Why is he singing to him? Okay. Maybe I just totally misunderstood the reason for that song. Nice. It's probably the most plot heavy. That's probably true. Okay. Awesome. I think it might be my favorite as well. I love it, especially because it kicks off so much. and sets an incredible amount of groundwork for the rest of the series. That's good to know. And I'm getting that feeling if I go back, I will get that impression as well. What's interesting is that it's commonly among people's favorites first time, then tends to go way down the second time. Okay. Not that it's bad the second time. Just seems to not have as much reread value as the others. Not a knock on anyone else who loves it. Anyone who loves it should love it. Just an interesting thing. Okay, that's good to know. Da-da-da-da-da. More on that. Yeah, exactly. More reread stuff. No, exactly. I will never forget Chapter 7 and Callum being a badass at the end. Yeah, if anything sticks out, it's got to be that Chapter 7. That's one that I might never ever forget until I go senile, and then I will live it. Okay, such incredible parts. On my reread, I'm going to imagine Callum going through the books in this game. Yeah, that would be great. Okay. What are we talking about? I mean, everything in Malice City. I realized Channel Clutter. I just said it today. Is this all the same day? I wanted to not clutter it. You know what, though? I'm going to stop worrying about it. It is what it is. I don't want to be some kind of channel cop. Well, don't then. Hey, we're on topic. Sorry to instigate. Oh, well, okay. I've always imagined Callum to be in all black, which is probably true. He would be in all black, right? The Bonehunters is actually... Oh, yeah. So I did go through it, and I did give a thumbs up. So I did look at some of these things. But this guy, Uldisian, generally knows what he's talking about. Not to say that I won't listen to an egg or a potato, like their input too. Okay. The Bonehunters is actually very straightforward, like Memories of Ice. Yeah, that's true. And has lots of wow moments. And is also much easier to read. And there is convergence of 3 plot lines, which is a plus. Right. It is not as heavy theme as theme heavy as the other books. And that is why first read most people like it more than others. And the other books shine much brighter on a reread. It makes them go up in the ranking, not the Bonehunters going down. I think it's funny that he didn't make the connection that the Bonehunters has something to do with the fact that Tavor's army all wear bones. Eventually I did. He must have forgotten that part in House of Chains. I don't know what I thought. I think I was more figuring that it would connect to the Talani Mass, since especially in House of Chains with that big kind of pathway of Talani Mass, which I would like to read that part again to see if there's anything more to glean from that. Yes, I've almost reminded him multiple times, and I think he'd be fine with being reminded. But he'll also just figure it out. Yeah, for some reason, it did feel like the birth. The Chapter 7 did feel like the birth of the Bonehunters, but maybe just like in Gardens of the Moon, for the Bridge Burners, I just didn't care that much yet. I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will be all about them Bonehunters. Just not yet. But I do love people that are in the Bonehunters. Okay. See? Potato. What do you guys think? Should we tell Dan to prepare for a long Chapter 7 in advance so he can maybe reread it read it all in one go? Is Chapter 7 the underground one? Yeah, the Siege of Egatan. I'm glad he called it the underground one. Because, man, for half of that, it is just this fiery mess above ground. But I really do think the powerful moments do come. I mean, there's a lot of powerful moments, but the powerful moments to me that really resonate are those underground moments. It's probably half of the chapter as well. Yeah, the Siege of Yucatan. One of the best Malazan chapters across all books. Gave him a flyer. I thought he had been... Man, I haven't read all these, actually. I just kind of scanned through and... Yeah, here we go. Let's see. I thought he had been told, but I can't find it now. So it might... Yeah, people were starting to tell me to, like, read it in one go. Absolutely true. I've been reading books for 40 years. When I first read the chapter, I had never had such an insane physical and visceral reaction to a chapter ever. My heart... Yeah. And halfway through it, I had to go to a recital for my daughters and stuff. So, man, I was halfway through. Everyone was burning. Maybe I'll throw that video up if I can find it. But, man, my heart was pounding. I was so excited to get back and see what happens. Adrenaline spiked and maybe even heavy breathing. I think the trick is not to hype up, but warn for length. That's probably true. That's probably true. I think he's aware. I don't want to overhype. Cape. Agree. We're on the same page. Da. Wasn't thinking of we're hyping it, but making sure he's aware. Do you know what? Sorry. I'm spiking the levels probably. Don't worry about telling me to read things in one go, because I don't. I'm okay just holding on to that momentum onto the next read. Especially if it's something that's going to be big and exciting, I'm going to stay up and read it. You don't have to worry about that. But I'm okay at holding on the momentum, and I would rather make sure that I'm chewing it the way I like to. So don't worry about that. Okay. Okay. Let's see. That's one hard time. The really tight caves, especially those people, must have had especially traumatizing birth or something. What are we talking about now? Are we talking about someone? I'm lost. Okay. My mother-in-law used to be big into like spelunking. And this is harder than a Malazan book. Okay. My mother-in-law used to be big into it when she was young. She managed to be the first one in more than 100 newly discovered caves because she had tiny shoulders. Oh, that is not for me. Heck no. Tiny shoulders, like I am first afraid of like heights. I just don't trust Ferris wheels and things, especially when they roll into town and you see that the people who put up or are running it look like meth addicts and stuff. Don't have their teeth. And I don't think I want to go up 100 feet. So, yeah. I have some trust issues with heights. But with claustrophobia, that's the second one. Like I'm thinking of going into those holes with in the Vietnam War. I'm sure I've mentioned that, but that's horrifying. Okay, that's amazing. Props to her. Totally horrifying, but amazing. Guess small people will either be jockey racing or a spelunker. Yeah. Dan talking about Apsalar and wishing Ganos would show up. Isn't it Bonehunters, the book where they meet up near the beginning? Yes, it is. He shows up decently early on. Apsalar is using fast travel to get to target Quick Ben's sister. Oh man, I forgot about that whole part. And she spots him on his boat and hops back into reality to talk to him. I didn't realize Ganos isn't in the character list. His storyline is one of the main ones in the book. Yeah, that's for sure. Erickson can be a bit of a troll sometimes. Haha, exactly. It's in the Dramatis Persona video. I was like, oh no, Ganos, Laughin, and Lyin, Steve? Okay, and in the prologue video, when Dan is talking about the Talani mass coming to Barathal's village. Who's Barathal? Dang it. And Barathal tells somebody to get his weapons and not to bother with the chain. Oh, yes. And Dan connects that to the crippled god just from the word chain. Well, that's what Steven Erikson does. He uses, again, in this Reaper's Gale, he used what's the word? Being confident about, what's the word he uses, though? It's a really great word. But he attaches it to certain and uncertainty. And he says how people with certainty can have their minds changed, even though they seem like the big fervent kind of fanatics. It is the ones that are always questioning and willing to change their minds and things like that they have to look out for. And also interesting, in that same chapter, we had the one who is being tortured in chapter 2, or she's down in the dungeons. They're supposed to let her go. She is one who is kind of quiet and not one of these ones that are raving and angry and screaming and kind of turning other people. But she will not turn, I'm sure, and she'll probably just be dead in a... Who knows if she's going to be in this whole book or they're just going to kill her. But Silchus Ruin is one who is mentioned as one who is certain. So I think, man, he might be able to change. He's a little bit extra cold right now. Maybe he'll turn more like Animander Rake, or maybe he'll just go totally crazy. But I really like Silchus. And it is just those words. Dan going on for 3 solid minutes about footprints, blood, crawl. The spiders is cracking me up. Talk about a wild goose chase. I'm trying to think of what I would have even mentioned. Is that the pots where I mentioned that in Raraku underneath there's this kind of pilgrimage of pots that people would walk on? Unless I'm thinking of that wrong. This amazing book is almost impossible to predict anything. It'll be awesome to watch Dan try. I think the Bonehunters has some of the best small characters in the series. Oh, yeah. We get Lyin, Korab, and Samar Dev icons. Now, it's funny that you mentioned those ones as the best small characters, because even though I liked Lyin at the start and thought it was kind of funny going into chapter 7, she sort of faded into the background for me. Korab has never really been anyone for me yet, and maybe I should start giving... Oh, no, he is. He definitely is. Yeah, that's a big one. I was thinking of Cuddle or whatever, whoever is with Bottle, I think. And Samar Dev is absolutely awesome. Okay. Absolutely, those 3 are easily top-tier minor characters, all incredible. I can't wait to watch the prediction video about After Work. This, the gift that keeps on giving. Korab's character journey is underrated in this book. Oh, is it? I think everyone probably thinks it's amazing. I bet everyone hits with that one, actually. But maybe it's underrated. Maybe people don't. So excited to relive it through Dan's reaction. Does anyone remember the iconic Quick Jen? She made like 8 S-tier videos, and that's it. She was so smart and funny. I love Dan. He's given us gold and a lot of it. But there's these random people that have produced some awesome deep Malazan stuff, and then nothing. Okay, I'll have to check out this person. Oh yeah, she's awesome. If it were videos this deep that kept me from starting a Malazan channel, because although I have millions of intense things to say about it, the series combined. These folks said everything I need and I ever could and better. I actually think TVBB, I don't know what that is, recently recorded a video that with her, but haven't posted it. Let me check on that. I might be remembering it wrong. I did remember it right, although I can only vaguely remember AJ. Sounds familiar. It'll be on their YouTube channel. You're good. Okay. I don't know what that is. Awesome. TVBB. Sorry, I'm gonna just look it up right now. I hope this is riveting. This video. Let's see. Malazan. TVBB. Goes to Reddit. Malazan Book of the Fallen. A Malazan read-through podcast. 10 very big books. Oh, right. Okay. So AJ is with them. Okay. I'm glad she's still talking it up. Yes. Okay, I gotta zip through this a little bit quicker. Maybe. Yeah, people do drop off the radar. They just like other things. I have no idea what I'll do when I'm done Malazan, if I'll go into some other things or if I'll just really focus on writing, or who knows. Jen is amazing. She's been pretty busy lately. Somehow during Corona times, we all had more time on our hands. Dan finished up book 2, complaining that people haven't shown up yet. Trull, Onrak, Tomad, Featherwitch, using Search of the Fallen. Looks like they won't show up until chapter 17. And that's like at the start of subbook 4, I think. Which is the start of subbook 4. He's going to be mad all through subbook 3. Sorta. Yeah, I was in that headspace, wasn't I? I mean, it's fine that I was looking for them, but I was still enjoying my ride as we were going. That's better than I thought. I remembered Trull at the very end of subbook 4. I'm kind of relieved. Yeah, he has an awesome moment at the end of subbook 4. Dan already figured out that it was the Unbound who attacked Felice and crew. How? Pretty sure it took me the rest of the book to... I just figured we're on 7 cities. We have these renegade Talani Mass. They seemed like Talani Mass. And the only ones I know that are in this area are these renegade ones. So, yeah. I understood they were the Unbound at the start of the prologue when they showed up. Nice. See? Always listen to him and not a potato and not an egg and not someone who's named T. Okay. Well, fine. I'm just dumb then. Same here. I remember people strongly suggesting this to me, and I even ignored them. I think I cared... I think I cared about it that much. Oh, I don't think I cared about it that much. Plus, somehow I always thought the Unbound were trapped where the Teblor were and could not move. I mean, that's fair. That's fair to say as well. I was so unsure about really what was going on. Okay. Didn't they speak to Carson in the Temple of Araku? But in that, it seemed more like they were kind of spiritually sort of talking through these statues more than actually being there. Like a long-distance phone, like she's saying right here. And that's how I got that. I just looked up when the Anabar, I can't remember who even the Anabar, and when the story of Iskar Jarek shows up, chapter 12. Can't wait to see if Dan figures out who that is. That would be amazing. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. And yeah, maybe astral projection. It's been known to have. Oh yeah. Talking about that thing. Okay. All right, let's go. So much laughing, not so much lying. I was hitting it pretty dead on for some of the stuff. So I'll give myself a pat on the back or on the shoulder for that. Karsa cut one of them in half with his sword in House of Chains and threw her on the water. And at the end of the book, that's pretty indicative of them being physically there. Right. At that moment, for sure. Okay. Starting sub-book with chapter 12 today. Charles' chapter and sub-book it's gotta be. Yep. I was pretty upset. I'm not going to lie on that. I'm going to be residual mad on memory fumes. I got that one. There are a few clues, but I'd have to crack the book to see where they were. The latest video, the chapter 12 scene 1, had me laughing a lot. I don't remember which one that even is. What video that could have been. Probably just some kind of rant, right? Did they just write the same thing? Okay, the fact that there is... right. The fact that there is a YouTube named Iskarjak confuses everyone now. And yeah, that's definitely where Dan heard the name before. Yeah, I had come across a couple of his videos. Clue for Dan. Say Iskarjak 3 times out loud. Oh, yes. So that's when I was going through and, yeah, I was calling him Iskarjak like 3 times. Jeez. How embarrassing. Okay. Ruthad Bad's name. Another brilliant man. It took me a while to get Ruthad Bad's name. Another brilliant man. Malazan fan. Good name, great man. Ruthad Bad. Ruthan Bad. Is that supposed to be someone that I know in the series, or is this just another? Is this another YouTuber or something? Okay. Also, Death Touch is a way more badass name than Dunsparrow. Oh yeah, I called. Yeah, right. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, let's keep going. I saw your line. Mercury. Man, there's a lot here, you guys. Man, Dan's video of figuring out Iskar Jarek was brilliant. Yeah, it's truly amazing moment. Yeah, I figured that out, honestly, like 2 minutes before. And my reaction wasn't too far from what actually happened. Good news for him. Tavor calling them the Bonehunters in truth is the next chapter. Is that the revelation mentioned in the comment section of the video? I was about to ask about that. Okay, let's see. Dan is going to lose it when he sees Fiddler and the Bridge Burners playing the song for the fallen comrades. Oh, I lost it. Let's put 100% there. And let's do a point finger because that's true. Forgot about the end of the Bonehunters. There's so much. I wonder if he'll remember who Lagana Breed is when he comes to get the sword back from Stormy. You know what? I thought Lagana Breed was a female Talani Mass this whole time. And then finally, I think it was pointed out that it was a guy, and I didn't really understand how they came back, but he did have that Tistan head. So did it just like deposit the head? This is my favorite moment in Memories of the Fallen, Book of the Fallen. Oh man, I'm sorry, Livia the Malazan potato. Did I ruin this for you? And did I rain on your parade here? I'm sorry. Not only is it heartbreaking because it is about characters in the book I love, but the message speaks to me so much. Whenever I read it, I have tears on my eyes. Oh, I feel so bad. Dang it. I hope I didn't rain on a whole bunch of people's parade. I know I did. As soon as I did that, I lost about, I mean, you know, I'm not gaining 1 million subscribers because I'm this is quite niche what I'm doing, but I know I lost about 10 people or 5 people or something like that when I put out that car video kind of ranting on it. And I have changed my mind generally on what happened, but I still haven't, that moment still hasn't hit me. I know it should, but a part of, I just feel bad that I rained on it like that because I want to be positive, but it just hasn't hit me yet. I know it's such an incredible end to the book. Dang it. See, that's maybe my least favorite ending, other than the very last chapter with the whole thing with Icarium and Trull and them all fighting at the throne there. That's my favorite part. But yeah, I dang it. Like I was more frustrated with Fiddler in that moment. Okay. Bonehunters, he has one of my favorite conclusions, very bittersweet, and little odd humor sprinkled here and there. I also think Dan should not read the dramatis personae from now on. And in some books, they give away stuff, which is a little spoilery. That's true. But I've been trying to look at just the names and not look at the extra little things after them. But that's true. Maybe for the next one, I won't. I understand people that think you shouldn't read them. I don't understand people who say they spoil stuff. Like you said, it's literally at the beginning of the book. And, fair enough. Either way. Either opinion works for me. Okay. Silly me, of course Dan will remember Lagana Breed. Right, the Talani mess. Who, yeah, in that crappy that live stream at 2 in the morning. All right. Well, I agree. I never had an issue with it. Okay, I'm not going to, let me keep going. Man, I feel like I'm still so far. How long is this? Holy smokes. Okay, I got to breeze through some of this. Well, I'm sure you know how the brain... Okay, jeez. Poor Roulade didn't last long. Why did they get spectators, though? I have no idea what he's talking about. He has no idea. I dared not post this even. Dan's spoiler chat, because he sometimes lurks a little bit, and he's lurking here too. Okay. Oh no, Dan will be starting chapter 22 now. Oh, I feel so bad. Dang it. Which contains Fiddler's first reading of the Deck of Dragons. That part was cool. Maybe it'll take 2 days instead of 1. And I still ripped through it. I should have slowed down. I ripped through chapter 22 and chapter 3 in 1 day. I shouldn't have done that. What is this? Oh no, oh yeah. I see. Usually this is how I do consume these books, and I get way more out of them. And I just was so interested in the plot and some of the other things that were going on. Like people have said, this is very plot heavy, this one. And yeah, I should have let it sink in. And I know I would have been with some of you guys on some of those endings, but maybe not. I love that reading, but it sets up everything that it is convergence at the end of the Bonehunters, and is why I love the book. But Dan is going to have an awesome time for sure. I mean, in some ways it was. That reading obsessed me. I was thinking of making schematics on all of that before. LOL, did a scan through. Oh, good. All right. So, I made it through it. Reaper's Gale, I won't be reading through that until I'm done. I'm going to slow down with this one. I already have slowed down. I have a couple books on the go while I'm doing that. I think that's been good to let things sink in, and then when I come back, I'm excited. If I want to take this like I'm watching something like Lost or Breaking Bad again, where I am actually looking forward to what's going to happen next. I think that's the key in a lot of ways to how I read, because I'm such a slow reader with some things. It just by doing that, it kind of forces me to become a fan, even in books that aren't that great. If I slow down, I'm still usually interested in seeing what happens next, unless it's just so dreadfully slow. But I'm going to take that approach for Reaper's Gale, and I already have been. I'm on chapter... Did I do all the way through chapter 3? No, I've only done chapter... I'm only done chapter 2. Anyway, I'll talk about that shortly. Looking forward to some things coming up. We'll be talking to Philip Chase here in a couple hours. And looking forward to seeing where that goes. And you guys are awesome. I hope I didn't run off too many people, because I do like to be positive. And really, that ending, that chapter, which I was so looking forward to, the ending of Bonehunters, I think that's the only moment where I've been kind of sour and negative about it. But not negative in saying that I think it was bad, but negative that I thought, why is this not hitting me? Why is this not hitting me the way I know it should be, when everything else has been hitting me so hard? And you would think, remember how much I wanted Fiddler to be a part of this song in House of Chains. And he was hearing this song. And I guess some of that moment just didn't. It just didn't keep going. I was so hyped about the Bridge Burners coming back. And when they just sort of came back, but not really, like, I was very confused. And that excitement didn't stretch. But I still hope they do come back. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, sometimes things change, but I'm still super fired up about this series. And I hope that some of those people will come back by the journey end and enjoy the last couple books at least with me, or at least the last book, because I am so excited on seeing where this goes, but I'm not going to push it this time. So excited to talk to you guys in the comments here, or on the Discord where this has been going on. I have a section for just general talking. I have a section for my current read through, and it's just anything goes up to where I am. I have a section like this. It's just going to continue on this Laughin in Lyin where I'm not going to see. I have a Crippled God area, or that I won't look at until the end of the whole series. That one is like, I have to be so careful, because I just click through, and I've accidentally clicked it a couple times and went, oh, and I clicked out, but I didn't read anything, so don't worry. I have a meme area, and I have an NFL place, because when NFL starts, that's a big part of my life. So anyway, I will talk to you guys on the next one. And as always, keep moving and keep grooving.